Hello there, welcome back to the channel. I am here at the Nasrec Expo grounds for the German versus JAP 2K24 Media Day. And I am here at the far end, far away from all of the show cars, far away from the hall in which everything is, because I heard some V8s in the far distance. Sure enough, looks like the Oaks from XS Drift are here. They'll probably be doing their thing here on the skid pan tomorrow. But with any further ado, let me head back north, south, wherever. Let me head all the way over there, back again, to get to the show cars, because that's what we are here for. Obviously, you probably clicked on the video to see my top 10 favorite cars here at German vs JAP 2K24. But obviously, I won't just be showing you 10 cars. I'm going to do my best to walk through the ground, show off all the cars that are here yet, even though lots of people haven't arrived yet. It's Friday. Lots of people are still at work, lots of people are still prepping their cars. I feel like the organizers, the contestants, the exhibitors are still going to be here till deep into the night, setting up for tomorrow's stuff to start for the actual event. And I do believe that we are at our first little cluster of cars. As per expectations, it's your usual assortment of Polos, Golfs and a Taz, Hyundais. But honestly, I can't really complain. Some of the cars here really do have some really good style, despite not being super big budget builds. I mean, in the end, money can buy you many things. Money cannot buy you style. And when it comes to style, this little 1200 GX Datsun really is where it's at for me. No super crazy expensive or rare parts. It's spat, it's polished, and it's sitting on, I do believe these are quite rare. One would think these are the stock Datsun wheels, but these came stock, to my understanding, with a 12-inch rim. Alas, these seem to be exactly the same thing, but they are in 13-inch. These are much more difficult to find. And if I'm not mistaken, they are actually that deep from factory. These have not been widened. I'd be pretty safe in betting that those wheels are from a Skyline or something similar in size. Now, those are non-competition cars. One of the nice things about German vs JAP is even if you're not competing, you can just come show your car, just obviously probably pay the entry fee. I don't know what you need to do to enter your car, but just bring car, park car, and then the car is here for people to look at it. But now we move into the not one, but two main halls and your main outer stage. As you can see from all the barricades this year, they've really put lots of time, effort and money into crowd control after everything that happened last year. Less people, less cars, more space and much more, what's the word? Security. Over here is the main stage where they'll be having the Limbo, which is easily consistently the most popular event each year. And then right next to it, we have why I am here. Gosh, this is a beautiful looking machine. Now, I'm typically more a hardtop person. I'm not usually a big fan of the cabriolet versions of coupes and two-seaters, etc, etc, etc. Mostly for the driving aspect. Cabriolets tend to be heavier, a bit more cumbersome, a bit less rigid. But when it comes to buying something, building something with clean paint, expensive wheels, and then dropping it on its arse to get that proper battle stance, not battle stance really, just to get whatever stance you're going for, because there's like 10 different, 20 different types of stance. Anyways, for a stance build in general, something about a cabriolet with a fitted hardtop is just Then we have this super tidy 350Z stood next to an R32 GTST. This has an RB25 Neo, RB25. You know what, I'm just going to keep quiet because I do not know. You probably can't see it on camera because I don't have a polarizer on, but the interior is super neat. It's rocking some SSR wheels. Just one last look at this Porsche. Gosh, that, I will not complain being sat behind this in traffic. This little rat rod Honda over here is very interesting. Lots of elbow grease must have gone into getting this patinaed look. And then we turn around and those rusty dents, those are the bolts for the strut tops. And judging from the dented roof, this thing is here for the Limbo. And I will not provide any further comment on that vehicle. Say nux, dan is dan nux. And at long last, we enter the halls. Not sure which one this is because I expected there to be a number, alas there was not. Immediately starting off on a strong note, McLaren MP4-12C and a black on black with a red interior cabriolet E30. I think this is an old Rolls Royce. This is definitely a bike. For sure this is a bike. A little Valiant. I think it's a Valiant. Never mind, it's a Ford. The Ford something. But before I even entered the room, these two immediately grabbed my attention. A Ford F250 Custom, Fleet Side, I believe is what you call this one, and a Chevy S10. I just love this generation, especially the front end. This is just, ooh, that's an LS swap, but this one's a bit more old school. That is definitely a carbureted V8. It's not a 1UZ, so I don't know. But to be quite fair, this is South Africa, and a 1UZ is normally what you find under the bonnets of the older American pickup trucks. And then we have a huge Ford F450 Super Duty Lariat with a V8 Power Stroke engine. Lots of strange words to just say that you have a inferiority complex, but, and those two are really cool. I really do dig the S10, and the F250 is cool and all, but these two, the 4x4s, this, ooh, the baby blue on white, on the white steelies is always a classic combo. And then we have another F250 Custom, obviously this one in a very different flavor, and obviously this one is definitely a newer model. Then we got a Bug and a super duper sparkly Honda Prelude. Ooh, and a Mustang 2 notchback. I was going to say you don't see these often, but you don't see these at all. Or be that for a reason though. Obviously lots of other interesting cars in here, but we gotta get a move on. So, Ferrari. Look at this thing, and if I look a bit closer, it's almost like it's on period correct Michelin tires. These definitely do not look new. Next to the Ferrari, a C2 Corvette, some other stuff. We got some V8 swapped Corollas. I'm quite partial to this one, especially due to the if I can walk faster quad headlight conversion that the owner has done. Alas, now we move along to the main hall where I will be. How did I not see that? Shit, look at this micro. But now at long last we move along to the main hall and to the title of this video, my top 10 favorite cars at German vs JAP 2K24. At least chosen from the cars that have arrived at the time of recording. Immediately my attention was drawn to this gorgeous 635 CSI. Yeah, it's bog standard, but look at it. These old 6 Series genuinely just have a way of demanding your attention at all times. Going from one BMW to the next, I had first noticed the work VSXX wheels on this thing, and then I noticed that it's missing a headlight. What is going on there? Then right next to it, easily the most controversial car in here, a new gen M2. And I will admit, when they first debuted, I didn't like the styling either, especially in that grey car that they used for the press car, in most cases at least. But in every other color, I promise you, it just looks so much better. Now don't get me wrong, the previous generation M2 was and is a beautiful and the better looking car between the two. But this newer M2 looks more aggressive. It has more of a presence. It looks just that much more angry. And probably because it is, it also looks a whole lot bigger. Somebody is getting up to mischief outside if you can't hear that. It is at this time that I stepped off camera to go have a couple of conversations with a couple of friends, and after said conversations, forgot to turn my microphones back on. So I recorded about 20 minutes worth of footage, and all of it was just me waving and yelling at a camera that was not listening to me. So here's a quick little montage of me being stupid, and regular content will resume now. Alright, lots of time has passed, mostly because, well, my camera battery died. I didn't have an extra, so Uncle Chris, if you're seeing this, thank you very much for coming back and lending me one of your extra batteries. I really do appreciate it. But let's get on with my top 10 pick of cars at German vs JAP 2K24. And I must remind you, please do hit the like button, leave a comment, And if you would really like to, subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. It really does help a whole lot. And I've already done all of this. I did all of this, recorded lots of footage, concluded the video, and then right before I got in the car, I noticed I forgot to turn on my wireless microphone. Before I get on with the list, I must just mention all of this is my subjective opinion. Nothing is based on any objective criteria. Only just, oh wow, that's really cool, I like that. Nothing more. My judgment is not based on creativity, amount of work, amount of modification, amount of money spent, nothing. If it's cool, it will make it onto the list. First up, coming in at number 10 is this bog standard 323i Cabriolet. It just looks kept, doesn't look restored, unmolested, well kept, probably lived a garage life. It's probably got all the taglines, lady owner, one owner, old toppie's car or old auntie's car. All of the taglines, if this thing were to come up for sale on Facebook Marketplace, I bet it still has its full service history somewhere in the glove box or the interior as well. It's super duper nice seeing a car as old as this still be in such pristine, pretty much museum condition. This is possibly one of the best kept cars at German vs. JAP this year. Ooh, an S15. I've driven past this thing a few times on the highway, and every single time it breaks my neck because an S15 has a very particular silhouette to it, and I recognize it instantly, and then I end up having to basically put my head back on my shoulders because of how fast I whip my head around. Alas, that car is not number 8. In fact, sadly, it doesn't even feature on the list because there's just so much good stuff to choose from. In fact, number 8 is not only also a BMW, but it's making me walk too much because it's on the whole other side of the hall. But this was the first car to grab my attention as soon as I walked in. Another pristine kept BMW, this immaculate 635 CSI. Another thing, box standard, it's just kept well, probably still has the full service manual somewhere in the interior stored away. It's got a bunch of BMW-esque stickers, BMW Club South Africa, one passion, one community. Other than just the presence that this car has, just let me paint a picture. Cape Town, driving down the coast, maybe up Chapman's Peak. I think that is what you call it, Chapman's Peak, is it? I don't know. I've been there once, please, but there's like this mountain route, it's like very scenic, very pretty down the coast, that one. Driving that in this. And now we walk all the way back to the other side of the hall because for some reason I couldn't plan this ahead and just film all the cars that are close to each other. I have to do them chronologically. My brain is absolutely toasted. I was up till like 2 a.m. studying, rode a test at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Jumped in the car, came here from Potch, and I've been here the whole day. Haven't slept. Barely slept, haven't eaten. So I might be a bit delirious. I've definitely lost some of my marbles throughout these 2 days. Coming in at lucky number 7 is this, focus for me please, Mark 1 Golf Volkswagen Jetta. Similarly to the green Jetta that featured on my top 5 last year, is this the cleanest car you'll see today? No. Is it super duper expensive? No. Is it ultra unique, full of rare parts and oodles of style? You betcha. This car looks like it was built 35 years ago and left completely untouched, down to these Ford Mustang wheels. It just looks like an old, driven, used, unrestored Volkswagen, and I guess that's part of its charm. I have a huge soft spot for these old school builds that picked the theme and stuck with it. There was no confusion when building this car. Whoever built this knew what they were doing and knew what they wanted to do, and they just kept with it. And I can respect that. Before we get to number 6, is this Raptor coat? Anyways, number 6 is this bonkers Beetle. It's just, it looks like a Hot Wheel. It's just so damn cool. Like, I bet half of us watching this video right now played with something that looked very similar to this while we were growing up. Lots and lots of stainless steel custom fabricated bits. The exhaust, the wheelie bar, even the roll cage and the dashboard are all stainless steel. And for those of you concerned, here are the welds on the roll cage. There's your fuel tank. There is some other tank. I hope it's fire suppression, because that is your engine, that is your cockpit. That's where the driver and the passenger goes. As always, only those are not 3 separate compartments. It's all one thing. There are no firewalls anywhere. It is fuel tank, people, engine. You can see the engine through the window right here. And I mean, this is pornographic. It's a regular Beetle motor. Probably, it looks like a regular Beetle motor. It's a Beetle motor with a 40mm Weber downdraft carburetor feeding a little old Garrett turbo. It's got these super duper cool swan wing doors, but the star of the show on this thing is these fenders. I spoke to the guy that built this earlier, so he knocked on them and proved it and everything, so I'm not going to touch it. Those fenders are crafted from metal. They're not plastic, they're not fiberglass, they're not some other composite. Metal, style. It would seem as though we have reached the top 5, and at number 5 is this Mercedes debadged, I don't know what it is, this Mercedes wagon. Big car, shiny paint, shinier wheels, slammed on the floor. It's just a winning recipe, and obviously the work did not stop on the exterior. The entire interior is reupholstered. What are those inserts made of? That is a very interesting looking cloth. It's got a super duper intricate interior job, also got a pretty funky wrap, but obviously no air ride car is complete without the bonkers sound system and pneumatics installation. Coming in at number 4, a blue square. And before I get stoned to death, the reason this is in my top 5 cars of the day is because, well, I've never seen one in the flesh. That, for those of you that are not in the know, is a Toyota Pro Box. And they're sort of the salaryman's car in Japan. No doubt this is definitely some other import and is not local. This guy probably came quite a ways to be here today. But that's not why this thing made it on the list. What's apparent about it? Well, it is blue. Not only is it blue, it is blue. So it didn't take long for me to notice it. And as soon as I noticed it, I went, oh shit, is that a Pro Box? And I marched my merry ass all the way past all of these beautiful cars to come and look at this. And it would seem as though we have cracked the top 3. Coming in at number 3, a yellow Polo. Already got brownie points because it's on its own little floor. It's not on the concrete like all these other peasants. It's just, I like the color. I like that looks like either carbon fiber or skinned carbon fiber. It's on some cool wheels. It's yellow on black, which is always a winning color combo, and it's got all of these really cool little lips and whatnots on it. The interior is basically all black other than the yellow gauges to fit with the theme, but it's subtly modified. It's got some fancy bucket seats, it's got a fancy shifter, it's got a very nice clean steering wheel. I like this, and well, you hardly ever see this generation of Polo on the roads here in South Africa. I don't know where this is from. I did not know we got these. But easily my favorite part of this car is this little carbon fiber spoiler and how it wraps around the boot lid. And now we walk all the way back to the other side of the hall to number 2. And number 2 has to be this really cool Porsche 911. It's also debadged, so I do not know what it is. Please do not ask. And I mean, it's easy to go, cool car, shiny paint, big shiny wheels on the ground. That's why it's cool. But no, it's a bit more subtle than that, because yes, it's black on some shiny wheels, black interior, classic combination, always works. But these little color accents are what does it for me. It's got the spokes on the wheels, the center caps. It's even got some dots on that windshield banner that continues onto the other side, and it's got the dots here in the back as well. Logically, there's no reason for me to find colorful dots and colorful spokes on the wheels, as cool as I do. But what that does, and I feel it's quite tastefully done, and if they had different wheels on there, it probably would not have worked either. But it takes what is normally a tried and true, always works recipe and just puts a little extra flavor on it, just a little bit of spice. And well, it's neat. I'm running out of words. My brain is just toasted right now. And then finally, to pretty much conclude this video, I get to walk to the other side of the hall again, to my favorite car of German versus Jap 2K24. But before we get to that, let's quickly stop by a little Golf. Before we get to the Golf though, look at this Altezza. Good paint, good wheels, good fitment, good style, good car. I like it. It's cool. Onto the Golf as promised. It's got some cool wheels, cool flavor. It's got what looks to be royal blue paint and peanut butter interior, which is always a win, especially on the darker colors. But what really got my attention on this is this roof. The vinyl sunroofs on the Golfs are always cool, but this really unique, that looks like a slightly dead Bart Simpson, but this really unique, what do you even call it? I guess I'm going to call it graffiti on the vinyl, really sets it apart. And now we head on to number one so that I can conclude this video and go search for food, which I am in desperate need of. My favorite car of German vs. Jap 2K24, another debadged Mercedes. Big sedan, big shiny wheels on the floor. I guess it's cool. Oh, what's going on the fenders? They're a bit tatty. Wait, what are these tire marks, these rubber marks? Is it like burst tires? They do like, wait, where's the interior? Oh, there's a roll cage. Interesting. Wait, was this a wall tap? That certainly looks like a wall tap. Post replacing the taillight at least. These are quite interesting seats. Is that a nitrous bottle? Why is there an ECU sticking out of the dashboard? Is that a hydro handbrake? Yeah, just a big ol' AMG V8 lump with 2 turbos sticking out the bonnet. I would quite frankly never to think of building something like that, but if it were to come up on Marketplace and I were to be able to afford it, I would make it mine. This is, like, I can see myself in this. This is super duper cool. Grandpa car, big shiny wheels, low to the floor. The ignorance, this is just so cool. Of course, leave it to me to walk through an entire room of show cars just to pick a race car as my favorite. I think it's an old E-Class. It looks too big and the headlights look wrong to be a C-Class. I'm not quite sure, but this just makes me feel a certain kind of way. Oh, and by the way, that is the car that was outside the building earlier, getting up to mischief and marking up the pavement. I want to do something like that someday. That is so cool. And that will be it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do leave a comment. What do you think? If you attended German vs. Jap tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, which is the main event, like I said, this is just the media day. Let me know how it went in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you really enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. If you really enjoyed the video, just click the bell notification icon. It really helps out the channel. It really does. Let me know what you want to see more of, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers. Good grief, if I don't get food right now, I'm going to have problems. No? Other people are going to have problems.